Hello, this is Piper, and welcome back again to the Bat server. And as usual, I am alone on the Bat server. That's actually not quite fair. There were some people on earlier. I've actually been on at the same time as other people a fair bit recently. But this episode, I had three things I wanted to show you. The first of which is kind of a preparation for 1.8, which is supposed to be released early next week, or probably early this week, I guess. I'll probably be putting this video up tomorrow, so it'll be this week by then. So I've got a slime farm here. Actually, let's just go ahead and come into the top of it. So I've got a slime farm here. And you may be thinking, this looks like more than one slime chunk. It is. This is 4 slime chunks right next to each other, which is why I was willing to tolerate having them bouncing around right next to my workroom here. So old style, I just realized I missed this one. Old style slime farms, of course. You just put holes in the corners and then a drowning trap at the bottom because slimes cannot swim up. So it's easy to drown them. Unfortunately, in 1.8, that will not work anymore for 2 reasons. First of all, because slimes can swim up, so you need a more elaborate kill method. And also because slimes change directions randomly in 1.8, which means they will not congregate in the corners. So basically I just took my corners and opened them up a little bit and punched a hole in the center so that they can fall straight down through here. And you can see my new kill method down there. Nothing revolutionary. Just iron golems. Sitting on top of a bunch of hoppers, and there's a minecart that comes under here occasionally and collects whatever has been collected by the hoppers. I don't know if this is the most optimal setup. In fact, I have a feeling I can make it a little bit more optimized by making the hole in the middle here a little bit larger, because there's 2 problems that I have to deal with. First of all, if the slimes don't get down here quickly, they'll despawn. That's another change. In 1.7, slimes slimes will not despawn unless you get more than 128 blocks away from them. But they've changed that in 1.8, so now they'll despawn randomly as long as the player is more than 30 blocks away, just like every other mob. So before, it sometimes would take them a while to congregate in the corners if they were moving very close to a cardinal compass point. But it never mattered because they would not despawn. They'd always make it to a corner eventually. Now, if they don't get down here quickly, they'll despawn. So if I make the holes too small, if I don't make enough ways for them to get down here, then they'll wander around on the upper levels until they despawn. And then I don't get any slime. If I make the holes too large, then I've got the opposite problem. All the slimes that spawn will make it down here and be killed, but there won't be much spawning space, so not many will spawn. So somewhere in the middle there's an optimum amount of openness. I have a feeling that this is too closed right now. I think I'm going to probably come down here at some point and open it up a bit more. But I just kind of took my best guess based on what I've seen of slimes wandering around on the surface, how often they change direction. If I had a bunch of time in a creative world, I could probably do a whole bunch of tests to develop the exactly optimal setup. But you know what? That's not quite how I play the game. I don't mind if this is not completely optimal. That I know will drive some people bonkers. Some people I know on our server and probably watching these videos as well are all about the perfectly optimized farm setups. And probably somebody, Etho, Doc, ZipCrowd, Tango, somebody out there has already crunched the numbers and come up with the exactly perfect way to make a slime farm, but frankly, I don't find too much fun in copying what somebody else has already done. I mean, you know, I'll copy Etho's Ender 2.0 or whatever to get levels quickly. But in general, if I can try to figure stuff out for myself, it won't be perfectly optimized, but I have a lot more fun doing it. And having fun is what this game is supposed to be about, sort of. Having said that, I immediately want to start talking philosophy of gaming and why we play games, but I'm actually going to skip that because you guys don't want to hear it. So that farm down there that I was just at, that was a farm that I've had going since January. I just altered it to make it ready for 1.8. Previously, it had just had kill traps in the corners, drowning traps. Now you could see when I was in there, it had the iron golems in the middle. This is one I built just well, basically over the last couple of days. We've got 5 slime chunks right next to each other here. So I just kind of created this. So you've got a bunch of levels. Slimes will fall off the side, end up down here, and be collected by the golems. Killed, items drop in the hoppers. And there isn't anything in there right now. I want to show you sort of how this system works. Here we go. Let's get some items in here. Okay, so items go in the hoppers. Nope. And I just pushed the cart away. Sorry about that, cart. It'll come back. So the items end up in this hopper. Right now there's some items in there, which means that the comparator turns on, which kills that torch. There's a redstone line over the top that powers this powered rail right here. So if I take the items out of here, the comparator turns off, the torch turns on, the bus goes way up over the top. A little bit inconveniently, but I couldn't figure out any other way to run it. It's a bit inconvenient down here with the bedrock. So this powered rail is on. You can see some more items just went in there, so the powered rail is off. So the cart, when it comes here, it'll stop, and the hopper will push items in. As soon as this item hopper is empty, the cart will take off again. Fairly simple. There's one possible problem with it, is that it will not detect if the cart fills up. So if that's a possibility, you need to have a much more complicated setup. Ooh, can I overtake it? Ah. Okay, so cart comes down from the top, takes a right. Here we are under the first slime farm I showed you. There's just an identical setup here, but the redstone here was a bit simpler. Whoop, see, cart comes in here, then takes a right, goes down that way, comes back, goes straight, and heads back up. So basically the cart comes down here, visits both slime farms. A total of, let's see here, 9 slime chunks combined. Then it comes up to the top, where there's a kind of a complicated setup here. Probably don't want me to explain exactly how this works. You can kind of see it. If someone wants me to do a tutorial on this, just leave a comment and I'll show you how it works. Otherwise, I'm sure those of you who are interested in such things, probably you can figure out how it works just by looking at it. But basically, this will hold the cart as long as there are items in the cart. When the minecart comes back, hoppers suck items out, and here we are back in my storage room, and the slimes get deposited in here. So that's basically how my slime collection system works. I've had the 4 chunks going since about January. Sometime in January, I forget exactly when. The newer one, the 5 chunk, has been going for just a few days now. So I've collected a fair bit of slime over the months. There's 8 double chests full of slime right there. There's another 8 double chests full of slime right here, and now I'm working on a 3rd stack. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm working on the 5th chest, so that's a lot of slime. Here, I'll go ahead and dump these in here. So basically, we're going to have a lot of slime blocks on the server as soon as 1.8 comes out. So that's what I've been working on for the last couple of days. There's 2 other things I'm going to throw in here. First of all, I went to my nether fortress earlier to get some wither skulls, and you'll see the results of that. But I did some recording while I was there, so I'm just going to play some of that. I don't know how interesting it is, but I had a lot of fun, so it's probably worth showing. Okay, so hello. I don't know if I've ever actually shown this on camera. I don't think that I have, actually. This is my nether fortress. 1.8 is going to be released next week if it's on schedule. So basically, I am trying to get beacons so we can have a disco setup. We need a lot of beacons for that. Like we're thinking of constructing something using the new colored beacons. And I forgot to drink my fire resistance, so that's why I'm taking damage there. Okay, so the basic idea here is that there's an absolutely massive amount of spawning space. Oop. Skull number 9. And out here I'm pretty out in the open, but throughout the fortress there are head bars like this so that the wither skeletons can't get to you. And there's lots of places down here you can duck down into, which they can't make it through the too wide gap. So it's pretty safe. I've got fire resistance, so the blaze basically can't hurt me except through melee. But a couple of months ago, there was some debate because Antherion wanted to build a automatic, or partially automatic, a technological wither skeleton farm. And I recommended that he could build it out here at this one, shut down most of the spawning space, and get the pistons set up and all that, since I already have a mostly complete perimeter out here. But actually, I'm kind of glad he didn't take me up on that offer now that I'm out here. Oop, number 10. Because the farm he built is nice in a way, because you can AFK there. I'm pretty sure. I took a look at it earlier for the first time, earlier today. I didn't actually know what design he was using. It looks like it's designed to be AFKable. Pretty sure I just made that word up. Basically to collect the withers or the wither skeletons while a player is AFK. Which is, I don't know, nice. But I've discovered, coming back out here, 2 points. Fighting here is just really fun. So, I mean, some people don't like combat too much, but for me this is quite therapeutic being out here. But also, you know, this isn't technological in any way, but on the other hand, I have so much spawning space here that for time spent, and it's not really fair to compare what I'm pretty sure is an AFK farm to one like this, but I was at Antherion's farm for a little while, or for quite a while, just trying to see how fast you could get wither skulls out of it. And basically I've now got 10 skulls here in far less time than it took to get just 3 there, so I'm actually pretty glad that we've got both farms on the server still. Because when he first announced that he was doing it, I was figuring, okay, well that's the end of this farm. No one will ever want to use this now that there's a fancier farm. And I know shortly after I began constructing this, there were a few people who were complaining. I want to make sure that doesn't break on me. There were some people who were complaining about it. Which, you know, happens. Some people have different styles of playing the game, and a lot of people... 11. A lot of people have trouble understanding other people's play styles, but though I just think I just lost my train of thought there. Nope, ain't going that way. Actually, there's a wither skeleton back there, so I'll grab him. Oh, yeah, but I was saying I didn't expect this farm to get any use at all after a technological one. Whoop. They followed me. After a technological farm was built. But, I don't know. Some people, again, are very happy about that, because they don't like this style. But, personally, I still actually prefer it. So, I don't know. Everyone's got their own styles of playing. Ooh, get it. Ooh, that fire there could have burned up the skull there. So, 12. That's enough for 4 beacons. Plus the 3 I got at Antherion's fortress. Ooh. 13. Oh. Didn't see him coming. This guy's probably aggro too. Yep. Yeah, quit shooting at me. You're not doing any damage. The only threat that the blaze really present, as long as you've got your fire resistance potions going, is that they might set the ground on fire and burn up a skull. Okay, it looks like the pigmen up here are happy. Darn it. The problem with those skeletons is that they don't do any real damage. But somehow I thought these guys were on the other side of the bar there. That was weird. They don't do too much damage, but the durability on your armor doesn't track damage. It just tracks hits. So a weak hit does just as much durability damage as something that's actually threatening. So it's easy to just ignore the skeletons just because they are not doing any significant damage, but they can still rack up a lot of durability, especially if they're close and they're doing their rapid fire thing. Whew. Oh, wow. Well, I've got 39 levels, so we can repair it. And these guys are aggressive. Come on. Oh, that's right. I've been trying to ignore the magma cubes, but they use the same AI as slimes, don't they? So they won't actually despawn if I just ignore them. I'm gonna have to kill them. Nope. And that right there is the kind of reflexes that allowed me to become a surviving member of the winning team 2 UHCs in a row. I say as I fail to notice someone sneaking up behind me. That is not the situational awareness that allowed me to become a surviving member of the winning team 2 UHCs in a row. Who am I kidding? UHC's mostly luck. Anyway. You'd think one of those 15 skeletons could have had the courtesy to drop a skull, but nope. Yeah, quit throwing fireballs. I don't honestly care. Come on. Ah. Yeah, I can make it that far before that breaks. Why is it so light here? It shouldn't be light. There we go. I had a feeling it was something like that. I don't actually know the cause of that bug, but it's sometimes when something like a fire goes out, so like the game doesn't realize it's gone out and doesn't update the light levels until you update that block. It's weird. 16. 18. When did I get, like, did I just completely miscount something, or did I get 2 skulls without realizing it? Oh, I think I have enough levels to repair my pants now. It's interesting, as long as you stay away from the pigmen. This is actually kind of sustainable as far as armor durability goes. You know, not exactly sustainable. I am losing diamonds here, but and I'm not repairing my sword. But I'm getting enough levels to repair my armor before it breaks. Ow. Oh, hi there. UHC reflexes again. In case you're wondering, yes, I did do that intentionally. case you missed it, let me do a quick replay of what just happened there. So yeah, the skeleton was in a position that was a bit tricky for me to hit, so I just kind of positioned myself so that the skeleton would shoot the zombie pigman. Zombie pigman finished it off for me. Looks like the boots will be the next to go. Those are pretty cheap to repair. Ooh, 21. Wow. Actually, you know what's going to end this expedition? It's not the fact that I'm out of potions. I've got more back in the room back there in the storage still. It's the fact that I'm almost out of food. $22. That right there is something that bugs me about the AI. Is skeletons have an AI engine which is unique to them, which allows them to fire a bow. No other mob has access to that. You can give a skeleton a sword, and the skeleton will know how to fight with that sword. But if you give any other mob a bow, they'll just walk up to you and hit you over the head with it. But the moment, all I have to do to outmaneuver a skeleton is just drop out of view here, and the skeleton will path directly towards me until it gets a view again. So then it comes out of around the corner here, right in easy melee range. Now, the pathfinding algorithms for these pigmen, actually not for the pigmen in this version of the game, but for mobs in general, is pretty robust these days. You can lag out the game fairly easily just by having too many mobs using their advanced maze solving, puzzle, whatever AI going. So you'd think 23. So you'd think that it wouldn't be too much extra processing power since, you know, zombie pigmen and other mobs have the ability to path all the way through a complicated maze. You wouldn't think it would be too difficult for a skeleton to evaluate all of the tiles, all of the floor space around it, to find one that makes a good archer vantage point out of easy melee range. Basically what I'm saying is that if I'm a player and I'm doing PvP and there's a person way down there and they step just out of sight, I'm going to try to move over this way to get a view so I can keep shooting if I'm trying to use my bow. I'm not going to walk up around here and run around the corner with my bow. Yet the skeletons don't think to just step a few blocks to their left or right so they can see the player again. All you have to do is block the line of sight between yourself and the... oh, come on. Between yourself and a skeleton, and they'll start using just the regular melee pathing algorithm, which, while it's good for getting you within melee range, is completely useless at finding good vantage points for archers. I'm just going to say right now, I know for a fact that Dinnerbone does not watch these videos. If Dinnerbone releases something like what I just described in 1.9, it is not my fault. I did not give him the idea. Do not blame me. See the maneuver I just did there? You get the beacon effect just in time to jump from there and land right here. That way you can keep moving without having to spend time jumping out of the water. A couple of days ago I tried that, but forgot that I wasn't wearing my feather falling boots, and that fall is far enough to kill you. So that was funny. So, have fun when 1.8 comes out, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye. Oh. Bugger you too.